Hi everyone and welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we're going to be making this very simple closable sunglasses case. And for our sunglasses case, we're going to be using some size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn, and this is the last bit of yarn I have left over from my ONE SKEIN challenge. So if you're interested in the other videos in my ONE SKEIN challenge, check the links in the description. I'm also going to be using a size H or 8 or 5mm crochet hook. And you will also need either a toggle button like this, a regular button, or a DIY crochet button, and I will link to my crochet button in the description for you. And we're going to begin by attaching the yarn to our crochet hook using a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 14. And once you have your 14 chains in place, then you're going to turn your work and skip that first chain. From here, we're going to insert our crochet hook in the back loop only of our second chain, and we're going to place a single crochet there. Then we're going to place one single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch in our row. So we should have a total of 13 single crochets when we're done. And at the end of the row, we're going to turn our work like this so that we can access the front loops from our first row of chains. And all we're going to do is dive right into our first front loop only, and we're going to place one single crochet there, and then we're going to place one single crochet in each of our front loops going back down our row. And this will create a round pattern. And when you get to the end of your row, we're going to begin a continuous loop pattern, which means we won't be starting and stopping our individual rows, but instead our pattern is going to act like a spiral. So to do that, we're going to dive right into the back loop only of our first single crochet stitch, and we're going to place a single crochet there. And we're just going to continue to place one single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch in each of our rows until we've built the body of our sunglasses case. And as you can see here, your rows should flow smoothly, and when you make it back around to your starting tail, if you want to crochet over it, all you're going to do is just line it up with the back loops and just crochet right over it like this. And I went ahead and crocheted roughly 17 rows of placing one single crochet in the back loop only. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we've ended our last row on one of the two folds here. And once you've made it to one of the folds, then you're going to chain 40. And once you have your 40 chains in place, then you're going to drape your chains in a loop around the top of your sunglasses case. And we're going to dive right into this last back loop only where we placed our last single crochet. We're going to insert our crochet hook in the loop and then drape our chain loop over it like this, and then yarn over and drop all the loops on our crochet hook for a slip stitch. And from here, we're going to work in the back loops only, as well as over our chain loop. And what we're going to do is place one single crochet in our next 6 stitches. And then you're going to take your chain loop and you're going to create another loop with it. So you want your loop to just sort of drop down from where you're crocheting like this. And picking right up where we left off in the back loop only of our next stitch, we're going to crochet over our chain loop. And you can adjust the length of this drop down loop when you get to the end of your row, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But from here, we're just going to continue placing our single crochets in the back loop only while working over our chain loop. And when you get to the very last stitch of your row, instead of placing a single crochet, you're going to place a slip stitch. And then we're just going to slip stitch into our next stitch, working under both loops. And from here, we're going to cut and tie off our yarn. And I am going to hide my tail down the inside of my sunglasses case like this. And you should have enough yarn left over to create a button if you want to. So I will link in the description to my DIY crochet button, or of course you can attach a toggle button as well. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.